Okay, this is Rodriguez from DevilsDigest. We're over here after Tuesday's practice with offensive tackle Evan Finkenberg. And Evan, as you know, sports is what have you done for me lately business.
Yep.
Obviously, a couple weeks ago, after the Stanford game, you and the offensive line group received a lot of criticism. How gratifying was it to go ahead and redeem yourselves against USC?
It was great. You know, we really emphasized running the ball. You know, try to helmet to helmet. You know, really expanding space up front. We did a lot more inside run versus the defense last week, and we're obviously doing that again this week. It's a huge part of our game. Once we get the run going, you know, our offense really expands out. Get the ball to our playmakers on the outside a little bit more, and really just helps us out a lot.
As an offensive lineman, you can get a lot of honors and kudos, All-American, all Pac-12. But I have to think that one of the cooler kudos is what happened Saturday after the game when Taylor Kelly brought you and the entire offensive line to the post-game press conference, showing his gratitude to your play at USC. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, you know, it was great. You know, Taylor always complimenting all of 5 guys in the front line. You know, he's really one of our biggest promoters. You know, it's really a huge thing for us that we did such a great game that he thought we should come up there with him. It's a great honor for us as a team, and I think it just kind of motivates us this week now, even push even harder and try to even do better.
Do you think the difference between Stanford and the USC game was more physical or more mental that contributed to the play of the offensive line?
I think a little bit of both. You know, Stanford has a really great scheme out there. You know, they did a lot of different movements, stuff like that. But it was great film for us to watch. We got to learn a lot more mistakes, different things we had to clean up. And each week, even last week, we had some mistakes we could have cleaned up, could have had some better runs, different things like that. But I think each week we've been trying to progress, and I think we've been doing that so far.
There's always a fine line between confidence and cockiness. I mean, where do you think the team is in its general attitudes? I mean, going and playing as well as you did against USC, and now having a very formidable opponent in Notre Dame. I mean, do you feel that the confidence is right where it's supposed to be, or maybe just a little too giddy after USC?
You know, always after a big win, you know, you're always really excited, always have a great mentality as a team, but you know, you gotta play confident each week. It doesn't matter who your opponent is, but now we got another great big opponent that played a national championship game last week. So you know, everyone's bringing in practice today. Everyone's gonna try their hardest, make sure they're watching extra film, and it kind of just motivates you even more to make sure you're pushing each day to try to get better than you are.
But as one of the leaders on the team, I mean, do you try to go ahead and keep that giddiness more to the confidence level?
Yeah, you know, for sure. Sometimes younger guys, because they haven't sometimes been in bigger games, different things like that. As a leader on this team and as an experienced guy, I got to kind of tell them what the crowd's going to be like, what kind of the atmosphere, and you know, you're just out there playing football. At the end of the day, you're playing mano a mano. You got to play one-on-one, and it's who can win those little battles on the field out there, and just make sure everyone's confident and plays their game. And if we execute at a high level, I think we can win the game.
So, talk about the Notre Dame defense. Todd Graham said earlier it reminds him somewhat of Stanford. What kind of challenges does the Irish pose on Saturday?
You know, they're a very physical group up at the front 7. They have a lot of big bodies up there, but they also like to read the blocks really well, and they have a very quick step on the first step. So, you know, for us, it's very key to make sure we're staying with our technique. Don't try to over-push the different situations. Make sure we're going to the right guys, and as long as we communicate at the front line, I think we should do well, and just make sure we're doing our game.
And last question: what would a win this week mean when you put it, like, say, compared to USC and compared to Wisconsin? Does a win this week mean something a little different? I mean, bigger maybe than what accomplished until now?
I think for you know, it's a great nationally recognized team. You know, for us, we're trying to be one of those elite programs in the nation. This is one of those stepping stones that we got to do. It's gonna be a really fun game for us out there. I'm excited because I've never played those guys before, so I know our team's gonna be pretty hyped up to play those guys, and I think it's just gonna be another stepping stone in our day or in our progression of the season. You know, we take it each week at a time. We're gonna hopefully break that rock for Notre Dame, and that's our goal right now.